vanishing on Leap Day. In the heart of a bustling metropolis, amidst the towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, there existed a sense of anticipation and unease as the leap year approached. The city of Evercrest was abuzz with rumors and superstitions, whispered tales of the mysterious disappearances that occurred every February 29th. And on the eve of this fateful leap day, the streets were alive with a palpable sense of fear. Among the denizens of Evercrest was Mia, a young woman with a thirst for adventure and a fascination with the unknown. She had always been drawn to the stories of the vanishings, and as the leap year drew near, she found herself unable to resist the lure of the mystery. On the night of February 28th, Mia found herself wandering the city streets, her footsteps echoing in the empty alleys as she made her way home from work. The air was thick with anticipation, and a sense of foreboding hung in the air as she approached the subway station. As Mia descended into the depths of the underground, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. The station was eerily quiet, the only sound the echo of her own footsteps against the tiled floor. But just as she reached the platform, a chill ran down her spine, and she felt a presence looming behind her. Turning around, Mia's blood ran cold as she saw a figure standing in the shadows, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. Before she could react, the figure reached out and grabbed her arm, pulling her into the darkness. When Mia regained consciousness, she found herself in a place unlike any she had ever seen before. The air was thick and heavy, and a sense of dread washed over her as she realized that she was no longer in the subway station. Instead, she stood in a desolate landscape shrouded in mist, with no sign of civilization in sight. As Mia stumbled through the fog, she felt a sense of desperation creeping in. Time seemed to warp and twist around her, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. And then, just as suddenly as she had arrived, Mia vanished without a trace, swallowed whole by the darkness. Back in Evercrest, Mia's sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through the city. Her friends and family searched tirelessly for any sign of her, but their efforts were in vain. The police launched a thorough investigation, but all leads turned up empty. As the years passed, Mia's disappearance remained a baffling mystery, with no explanation ever uncovered. Some speculated that she had been spirited away by forces beyond human comprehension, disappearing into the void of Leap Day, never to return. Others whispered that she had fallen victim to something far more sinister, lost forever to the shadows that lurked just beyond the edge of reality. And so, the legend of the vanishing on Leap Day lived on in Evercrest, a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lay hidden in the darkness. And as each leap year came and went, the city held its breath, wondering who would be the next to disappear into the unknown. In the quiet town of Willowbrook, nestled between mist-shrouded mountains and whispering forests, there existed a small antique shop known as Hawthorne's Curiosities. It was a place where the past mingled with the present, where forgotten treasures and cursed relics lay hidden amidst dusty shelves. And among the many mysterious artifacts that adorned its cramped interior, none was as sinister as the cursed leap year ring. Legend had it that the ring, adorned with a shimmering emerald gemstone, was imbued with dark magic tied to the leap year. It was said that whoever wore the ring on February 29th would be cursed with misfortune for the next 4 years, their lives plagued by tragedy and despair. Despite the warnings whispered among the townsfolk, the ring remained on display, its twisted beauty captivating the hearts of those who dared to gaze upon it. And on one fateful leap day, a young woman named Lily stumbled upon the antique shop, drawn by an inexplicable pull that she could not resist. Lily Lily was a free spirit with a penchant for adventure and a thirst for the unknown. As she perused the shelves of Hawthorne's curiosities, her eyes fell upon the cursed leap year ring, its emerald gleaming in the dim light of the shop. Ignoring the ominous aura that surrounded it, she reached out and slipped the ring onto her finger, unaware of the dark fate that awaited her. As the clock struck midnight on Leap Day, Lily felt a shiver run down her spine, and a sense of unease washed over her. But she brushed aside her fears, dismissing them as nothing more than superstition. Little did she know that she had sealed her own fate with a single, fateful decision. Over the following years, Lily's life spiraled into chaos and despair. Tragedy struck without warning, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Her once bright future dimmed as she struggled to break free from the grip of the curse that bound her. But try as she might, Lily could not escape the relentless cycle of misfortune that plagued her existence. With each passing leap year, the darkness grew stronger, consuming her from within until she was little more than a shell of her former self. Desperate for salvation, Lily returned to Hawthorne's curiosities on the eve of another leap day, her eyes wild with desperation. She begged the shopkeeper to free her from the curse that had haunted her for so long, but he only shook his head sadly, warning her that some curses were beyond even his power to break. Defeated and broken, Lily fled into the night, the weight of the curse heavy upon her shoulders. And as the clock struck midnight on February 29th, she disappeared into the shadows, her fate forever intertwined with the twisted magic of the cursed leap year ring. And so, the legend of the ring lived on, a cautionary tale whispered among the townsfolk of Willowbrook. For in the heart of every leap year, the cursed ring waited patiently for its next victim, its emerald gleaming with a malevolent light that promised only suffering and despair. Deep within the dense forests of whispering pines, there stood a house that only appeared on Leap Day, a structure shrouded in mystery and fear. Its presence was an enigma, for it materialized out of thin air every February 29th, casting an eerie glow that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to behold it. This was the haunted Leap Day house, a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred, and the echoes of the past whispered through its dilapidated halls. Among the townsfolk of Whispering Pines, the legend of the haunted Leap Day house was passed down through generations, each tale more chilling than the last. It was said that the house was cursed, its walls steeped in the sorrow and anguish of those who had perished within its confines. And on Leap Day, when the veil between worlds grew thin, the spirits trapped within its walls would roam free, seeking to claim new victims to join them in their eternal torment. As the leap year approached, whispers of the haunted Leap Day house spread like wildfire through the town, igniting a sense of dread in the hearts of all who heard them. But there were those who were drawn to the house like moths to a flame, unable to resist the allure of its dark and twisted history. Among them was a group of adventurous teenagers, Alex, Sarah, Jake, and Emily, who saw the leap year as an opportunity for excitement and adventure. Ignoring the warnings of their elders, they set out into the depths of Whispering Pines on the eve of February 29th, determined to unravel the mysteries of the haunted Leap Day house. As they approached the house, a chill swept through the air, and the hairs on the back of their necks stood on end. The moon cast an ethereal glow upon the decaying structure, its windows glowing with an otherworldly light. But despite the ominous atmosphere, the teenagers pressed on, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. Crossing the threshold of the haunted Leap Day house, they were enveloped by darkness, the air thick with the scent of decay and despair. Shadows danced along the walls, and and strange whispers echoed through the empty halls, sending shivers down their spines. As they explored the house, they encountered rooms frozen in time, their furnishings covered in dust and cobwebs. But as they delved deeper into its depths, they became aware of a presence watching them, a malevolent force that lurked in the shadows, waiting to claim their souls. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the silence, and Emily vanished without a trace, swallowed whole by the darkness. Panic seized the remaining teenagers as they frantically searched for their friend, their cries echoing through the empty halls. But Emily was gone, her fate sealed by the curse of the haunted Leap Day house. And as the clock struck midnight on February 29th, the house faded back into the mists of whispering pines, leaving behind only whispers of the horrors that lay within its walls. To this day, the legend of the haunted Leap Day house lives on in whispering pines, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of reality. And as each leap year comes and goes, the townsfolk hold their breath, wondering who will be the next to disappear into its haunted halls. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content if you enjoyed the story.